Story Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're going to take a deep dive and look into the kits, discuss where the heroes are good for, well, these new heroes. We have Uredin actually added to the game this weekend. So good. I'm excited to talk about him. And we have Cyrus as well, who was recently added to the ancient pool of heroes as a legendary lord. So this is going to be an interesting one, guys. Let's take a deep look. And we will quickly mention Pelagios as well.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
Alright, so I'm just going to quickly mention him because we've already discussed him in other videos. He's not new to the pool per se, or it's not his first time, I guess you could say, being featured in a sense, because, well, when the Arbiters came out, we definitely talked about all of them. He is a very strong, true damage hero that attacks multiple enemies, AoE. He's just a monster for Gear Raid 1. And I'm sure you can use him most anywhere, honestly. But Gear Raid 1, absolute beast. I've certainly seen it. He's also, of course, got a boost for attack in arena, like the other Arbiters as well. So he's just a really strong multi-target hitting hero. So amazing to have on this banner. But let's do a deeper dive into the others mentioned here. So Cyrus was added at one point, but let me pause and figure out what that was. It looks like 2 weeks ago or so that Cyrus, or should I say Cyrus? I feel like Cyrus is more correct. I don't even know. But okay, we'll call him Cyrus. That Cyrus was added. And yeah, he's a beast. He is a lord for the Esotericus. So his ability here, let's see. So we have a couple differences. So Venoma increases allies' rage by 30% upon their first deployment. But for him, his bonus is again different here. Reduces faction allies' skill cost by 25%. When an ally is defeated or retreats, increases the damage of other faction allies by 25% for 8 seconds. This effect can be triggered one time every 12 seconds. When an ally is defeated or retreats, or you recall them. Esotericus. Does this not have the Laurel strategy written all over it? So if you are having Laurel as... I mean, it's just crazy. If you're having Laurel be your boost, where you purposefully recall her just to get the boost, and you have this guy, he's boosting your damage even more if that's happening. Well, every time it happens that you use Laurel in that way. Every time she comes back and you put her in, you need to take her out. He's so good for that. So this is a really busted lord to have with anything where you're using that strategy. Really cool. So let's talk about him. He is a defender dealing magic damage. Really interesting there. With mastery over the skeleton army, Cyrus vows to reclaim all that is lost. He's got the great range that Valkyra starts out with, so there is that as well. The 4 tiles in front of him as defender, really nice to see. But yeah, as a defender, again, not a fighter. Can't really think of many defenders with long range, right? Interesting. Alright, so his talent immediately summons 1 skeleton warrior within 2 tiles ahead when deployed. Hence the tile range. A summoned unit that possesses significant portions of the hero's attributes, able to attack and block 1 enemy. So the skeleton warriors can actually block enemies. I love that. Alright, his basic attack is AoE damage. Interesting. So I kind of have a feeling we've got another... Yeah. We've got another defender who's actually can put out some damage as well. His ultimate summons 1 skeleton fighter within 2 tiles ahead and increases the hero's damage by 100% and attack speed by 60 for 10 seconds. So it's cool. He's actually a pretty solid DPS, is what I've heard so far. But because he's like putting out these extra skeletons to block, he's classified as a defender. And he's doing magic damage instead of physical damage as a defender fighter, which is also really cool. Really, really interesting kit. I love this, like looking at this ultimate. That has such great value in so many places. All right, so passive, 40% of the incoming damage will be absorbed by the hero's summons. When the hero receives fatal damage, one of the summons will be sacrificed to resist the damage. So he prevents fatal damage from himself. He's not going to die. He'll sacrifice a skeleton first. And the skeletons absorb damage overall. So damage mitigation is huge. Really, really great skill. That has Gear Raid 2 written all over it as well. For those hard-hitting places where you need a little extra survivability. I'm sure amazing and some quirky arena builds too. Ooh, I'm curious. And we have a passive King's Wrath. When the HP of the hero summon is below 50%, increases its attack speed and by 60 and damage by 30%. So even the skeletons get a boost with him. Oh, I love it. So he is expensive. He has a cost of 25, but typical block of 3 like a defender. So he blocks 3. Plus when he puts out his skeletons, they block as well. So that's really, really cool. All right, and max level for him, 28,000 HP, 4,200 attack, 3,200 defense. His awakenings here. All right, so we have our awakening 1. When summoning a skeleton fighter, there's a 25% chance to summon skeleton warrior. So slightly different descriptions for these two. Let's read that. Skeleton Fighter, a summoned unit that possesses a few of the summoner's hero attributes, able to attack and block an enemy. Skeleton Warrior, a summoned unit that possesses significant portions of the summoner's attributes. So the fighters are a little squishier, the warriors are a little tougher, I guess. Or maybe they do more damage as well. It's kind of annoying that they don't say like a certain percentage of their attack or defense or HP though, so we actually really know. All right, Awakening 2 is a plus the attack, but also a boost for faction ally penetration with the Lord bonus. Awaken 3 summons 1 extra skeleton fighter when deployed. Awaken 4, rage regen auto +1, and Awaken 5, upon death or retreat, summons 1 skeleton fighter. Really cool. I love that he's got this combination of him having a range to attack, so he can actually pump out some damage himself, but he's going to have his skeletons in front of him to give extra block and slow down or prevent the enemies from getting through. It's just a really, really cool kit, and he's going to pair amazing with the Isotericus. I mean, we got Boreas. I mean, hello. Gear Raid 2 with Boreas as the main DPS, plus this guy would be pretty busted. I'm sure for Gear Raid 1 as well, you could have him in Gear Raid 1 as the Lord with Boreas, and then you'd have Cultists as the other one, I would think. Pretty cool either way. Or Northerners. Northerners are doing some crazy things these days. So Isotericus plus Cultists, Isotericus plus Northerners. Oh, there's so many possibilities. But let's check out our other Cultist and Chaotic hero here, Uredin. This guy looks amazing for one. Another amazing job with the art from the art department. This character absolutely deserves a video. Where is his video? He's so cool. How can he not have a video? A hero embodying both fear and justice, this enigmatic figure, cloaked in an ominous shadow, executes their enemies without a hint of mercy. Multi-target attack execution. He's a beast. Oh, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this guy, as seeming busted, and people have been hyped for him. So let's read and see why. Talent. After the ultimate is cast, basic attack will turn into Phantom Strike for 15 seconds. If the ultimate is cast when Potent Surge maxes out, basic attack will turn into Soul Harvest for 15 seconds. So, okay. When the ultimate is cast, the basic attack will turn into Phantom Strike, which Deals 150% AoE damage to at most 10 enemies in the range of the ultimate. If it's cast when Potent Surge maxes out, which is again part of the ultimate here. Potent Surge, Rage can continue to recover after increasing its cap, accumulating up to 2 times the cap. All Rage will be consumed when casting the ultimate. Well, what's the point of having double the Rage if it will be consumed when you use the ultimate anyway? Wouldn't the point be to able to use 2 ultimates in a row? Rage can continue to recover after receiving its cap. It's a little bit confusing. I guess so it would be like almost ready to use again. But no, it uses it. Alright, I guess I gotta analyze that one a little bit deeper. Seems a little confusing. Alright, but basic attack will turn into Soul Harvest, which is another AoE damage at 120%, 2 times at most of 10 enemies. So he's got a ton of AoE damage. AoE damage for sure. Basic attack is 100% AoE damage up to 5 enemies, but that's where this talent comes into play, making it even better. The ultimate attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range ahead, dealing 300% damage and inflicting stun, which is for 1 second. When Potent Surge maxes out, attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range, dealing 100% AoE damage and inflicting stun. Okay, yeah. And that stun, after Potent Surge is maxed out, the rage, that's where the rage, extra rage really is coming into play. Yeah, a 3-second stun, which is a lot more than it sounds like in this, right? Alright, his passive, a lower HP, grants a higher rage regen auto with a maximum of 9 when HP reaches 30%. What a beast. Passive. When dealing damage using Soul Harvest, there's a 20% chance to execute enemies, excluding elites and bosses, whose HP is below 50% or 25%. When receiving the fatal damage during the effect of Phantom Strike and Soul Harvest, the hero enters Unyielding, which can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. We know how valuable that Unyielding can be, whether it be Arena or Gear Raid 2, or hell, even like anything like AMR as a DPS. He does AoE damage, but he'd be so good as a fighter. I think he'd be great in AMR. Even attacking the boss, but he could be the one helping to attack. He's got an extra spot of range, so he could be attacking the boss, but also attacking what's coming on the other sides briefly as well. Or just, yeah. I feel like he would be just a great fighter anywhere you use him, right? Oh my goodness. Receive. He's got, I love the prevention of death. And of course here, his arena has a reduced cost. Being cultists, you know, or sorry, being chaotic faction, they all seem to have arena bonuses. So his cost is normally 20, but it does go down to 18, or how much? 5. Okay, it goes down to 15 in arena. Maxed out here, 18,000 HP, 6,100 attack, and 3,300 defense. He's a beast. Whew. Alright, Awaken 1, enhanced during the effect of Unyielding, granted by Arbiter of Death, increases attack speed by 200. When the effect ends, restores HP by 50%. Love it. Crit damage plus 15% with Awaken 2. Awaken 3, when Potent Surge maxes out, damage of Obliterating Blast ignores 40% of the target's magic resistance. And Penetration, 8% with the Awaken 4. And Awaken 5, for each enemy taking damage from Obliterating Blast, increases attack by 5% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 stacks. He, again, I forgot to mention, he's a magic damage dealing fighter. Another one added, which is nice to see. I know there's a lot of excitement about this guy the second he kind of got leaked. I think he kind of got randomly added either on, I don't know if it was on the test server, the Forerunner server, both. I think it was Forerunner server first, and people noticed, are like, what the hell is up with this guy? Absolute monster, though. And a really interesting kit with a ton of damage. I mean, I feel like the game is giving us way too many ancient summoning events now. We don't have a chance to save anymore. But now that we know that that's how it is going to be, we're just going to have to get pickier with when we actually pull. I still want like an Elder and an Ardea. So my summons are yeah, being used even on the non-boosted events because that's going to be my chances to get them. But how could I not want to summon for this great of a banner? Between Cyrus and Uredin and also Pelagios being boosted? I mean, I don't know how we could go wrong, right? I'm assuming that means they're boosted. Seize the chance with grand prize. Am I just assuming this is a 10 times? Maybe. But yeah, sure looks like it unless they've actually... I don't think they've added... They haven't added the official, like, notice about the events to come yet. So we'll have to confirm exactly how that's gonna be once they pop the next listing of the description of, like, the summoning like they usually have here, but it's kind of not here yet. So keep that in mind. We'll double check that before the event to make sure it makes sense. But either way, that's such a good banner, and both of the heroes sound amazing. Pelagios, we already know, is amazing. And I have what I could find. I did try to look up a little bit online beforehand because I tried to see if anyone's talking about him in the Discords and stuff, and everything just sounds like he's a beast for the people that do have them. Not many people would, of course, as just Forerunner server, or if a content creator has actually played with them on the test server. But there's a little bit of content out there, guys, so stay tuned. We'll hopefully help bring some more. But yeah, solid event, amazing heroes, and I would be very happy to pull any of them as well. And I know myself now, I am... Oh yeah, I can't really look at him here. I know that I'm going to summon whatever I got. I'll have a 10 pull for these guys. We'll do it. We'll see what happens. But this is, again, a Saturday event, not Friday. Friday, there is a 1+1, and then 2 times for the other summons. But those summons are separate than Ancient Summoning. And this is surely a good one with some strong heroes. So good luck to you guys that will be deciding to pull. Let me know in the comments below if you've had any experience with Cyrus or Uredin or even Pelagios. Feel free to leave your comments. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.